We're live now. Today, Monday, the 26th of January 2026. I'm just going to call Richard Hoekstra, and he's down in South Island, and get in touch with our banker as well. He's doing collections. I'll just go and call him on the mobile, get that lined up right. I always have it crooked. Right number.
Hi, you've reached Richard from Crown Collections. Obviously, I'm either on the phone or outside the coverage area, so please leave a detailed message with your number, that always helps, and I'll give you a ring back straight away, or you can ring the main office on 0800 463 578, 0800 463 578, and it's one of the lovely ladies in the office there will take your call. Very much appreciated, and have a great day. At the tone, record your message.
Yeah, hi Richard, it's John Wano in Auckland here. You can call me 021 078 2523. I'm a little bit early, but I said I would call about this time. And so I'll just wait for you because the office won't be open yet at 9 o'clock. Okay then, bye. Yes, Richard. He's down there in Rangiora, down South Island, and I want to work in with him in the Fiordland, Canterbury region on the west coast, and with Chalky Point and the inlet there for a project in there, and also in Arapawa Island, in the Marlborough Sounds. We've got a couple of places there set up, and in Wellington, Ohura, over there on a farm there. So that's for the tidal turbines, the Moai tidal turbines, and the hydrogen economy. Okay, so that's a project I've been doing for a few years, and I've just dropped a few documents from right back to 2011 there, but I can't find my world globe where I'm pointing to the New Zealand upside down. It's gone. It's gone. They've taken it down. I was just telling Ravata in Pare, that was always the first video you come across on all my videos, was that particular one. I've been up all night and early this morning at 5 o'clock, still trying to find it. They've hidden it because it shows the exact points of the sun in three places. That's our title to the whole world, with the Moai, and on East Island and East Cape, Te Pito, at 6 a.m., 12 midday on Te Pito, East Island, or Anakena Marae there, to Moko Nui, from Rapa Nui to Moko Nui, Te Puto there, Te Pito, birth of New Zealand to the birth of the world. And then the other one is the sun in Accra, Ghana, in Phoenix Hotel on the beach. All on the beach, the sun is shining at the same time. It's a perfect triangle. And at midnight, mirror image in Pakistan, there on the mountain. So that's the four corners of the planet in a circle of light. In three places is the title to the whole world of Moai. And now in Greenland, they're making up another story. These are these people, the deep dark state and the British Crown and the Germans are making up a story that they found a spaceship in the north under the ice. The ice melted, and there it was. And so I'll put that there and claim that as well, because that's where I'm saying publicly in 2009 and 2011, our engine, the magnetothermohydrodynamic, it's MT HD DC current motor that's in our spaceship, gets its energy from Mother Earth right there up north. So when I finish putting the engine together, that's 3-meter diameter, 3,000 megawatts. When I get that finished, I'll take it up there and it'll take off straight away. The engine will fire into life, because that's positive north and negative south. All the fields go around and back to south. See, so if I want to fly, I go out and then go around and come back in the country I want to go to. And that's fast. That is fast. And that's what I'm trying to get this project going. Way back then, still saying the same thing now about spaceships and the ball engine of steel. Gas electric generator in one. The Earth planet is a gas electric DC generator in one, and it's self-perpetuating, running itself, and I know how it works. And I made an engine with the gas on the inside, spinning around. Once I go up north, up to the North Pole where it's positive, that's where all the energy leaves the Earth to power up the sun and all the appliances out there in the planet, in the universe. It powers them all up. Okay, that's where they get the energy, not from somewhere else. Not from the solar, because it comes from the rays of the sun. So that's another energy. See, so everybody's got illusions. They all came into my land in the Pacific to go and look for information. That's why they dug the Moai out, to see how it works. And then they're stealing its information that's carved into the rock. They put it under the ground to preserve it. And those white men from England and Britain came here, dug the thing up, bowled them all over. And when the Dutch came here first, they went to East Island, found East Island, called it East Island, the egg of birth of the well, and never touched them, never stole them. And they came to New Zealand, found New Zealand as well. The two places that makes up the 3-point star to claim the whole world. Okay? The Dutch did that. The King William III, Dutchman, put the mortgage bank loan lien together. And he got the memorials on his documents without stealing them. And the British come along, the dirty pricks came along and stole the Moai, and the Americans stole the Moai, the French stole a real one, and everybody after that stole it, including New Zealand. There's one in Auckland with his head chopped off. That's the one I just did a video back then, 2011, with Professor Jean O'Dean from Canada. Right? The Canadians are good because they respect the Indigenous people that were there first. And so she came to meet me to see what was the fuss about Moai and the obelisk on Mount Eden Hill and One Tree Hill. Okay, she wanted to know. Mangafo, Mount Eden, and it's got on the inscription, she read it out. America, Bank of America, like a declaration of bankruptcy, 1933. Right, read out, 1933 Bankruptcy Act, or Emergency Act, or Declaration of War Act. That's what they used to bankrupt America, right there, from England to Westminster to Mount Eden Hill in New Zealand, and to America after that. Okay, there's plenty of names that I've got who came here and went to America, and I'm stringed it all together for the robot Copilot, Microsoft. See, now they're messing our Microsoft website up and won't let the photos go up onto Microsoft record, the court of record, the native AI court of record up in the cloud. When you come up there, you've got to have clean hands, otherwise you won't get let in, because all this history I put up is going to put a sock in anybody that can't put the ley lines and all that is not going to match the 3 points of the sun at the same time. They're shining at the same time. Rising sun in the Milky Way straight up, 12 midday on East Island, birth of the world. That's number one. 12 midday. Okay. Then over here, East Cape, Te Pito. From Te Pito to Te Pito on my land block. There's that one at 6 a.m. in the morning, right on the dot, the closest distance to the sun, first sun in the world to claim the sun title is right next to it. In the equator, in the south, if you turn the world upside down on the world map, then on the globe, then that's the right side up. South side up, or sunny side up, is the equator, where it's hotter, more black people in that area, and all the white people, and with chinky eyes down in the south, in the north, down below. That's where the north is, down close to Satan, okay? And that's close to God in the south. The discharge of the current in the motor that I'm building is the south, where current comes back in this way, down, that way, is north, south down, and north is up that way, anti-clockwise, and south down that way, round that way. Okay, so that's how you tell north and south direction the world goes around. So it goes, Chile, it goes from East Cape, it goes to 6 p.m. in Ekragana on the beach. So we got 12 midday, the Milky Way straight up into the universe, and the woman on Anakana Marae. And on the East Cape, at Te Pito there, that's the birth of New Zealand, and the closest distance to the sun, 6 a.m. And on Mokonui, from Rapa Nui, big sign, to Mokonui, big face at the East Cape. Okay, so they were waiting for the sun because God told them on East Island and Raiatea Island, go and find the sun in the east, so they can find the sun. So that marked two. And then the third one in Ekragana, straight across the other side, 6 p.m. That is the triangle to the title of the world that I'm saying, graphically, and it's still there. All the history is still in my head to give to the robot because I got no writer of the story. Okay? And so he's writing the story. I'm giving him all the information. He's writing it all up. So don't think that the robots are going to take over all our history by us giving everything to the robot. And I'd rather give it to the robot to give it to somebody else that's going to screw it all up. And that's what happened with the Maoris, screwed it all up. Okay, they got the history back to front, put all the names back to front, and then made everybody believe it. Well, you got a problem now because you've got ID or digital ID, and you've got to use one name. This is the American and the British law, and the banks, right? The banks, the oligarchs, all those people with all the money are making the rules. There's not so much the Rothschild Bank because that started the bank process off, and now JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, is fighting against the Bank of England with his JP Morgan Bank against the other banks. And he's got his own coin, his own digital money, his own law, and now Musk has come along with his own law, his own coin, his own universe, and I've got him in my sights with a flying machine that'll go straight past him. Right, when I get that engine going, it'll take me less than a year to put the engine together. I've got it all ready for HB Technologies in Taiwan, the brainchild of the Manukau Moriori. That's my partner, okay? And Baby Chen, that's his name. He's the one that the British and Hungary wanted his technology for their spaceship. And he said no to me. He's got a pending contract with me to build the spaceship engine. I can more than likely think with power in the mind power. That's what I got from John Key, John Kehoe, John Kehoe, the Canadian. That is Mind Powers. His book, Mind Powers, John Kehoe. Read it. It's you use your mind to get what you want. Okay? What I want to get is the engine of superconducting power in a steel ball. It's heavy, but it will float in midair. When I finish with it, it will float right there, just like the Moai statue floated. The biggest there, tons and tons of granite or that basalt rock floated because they had the power to do it with frequency. Okay, I'm making a frequency engine from gas, electricity, DC current, not false, DC current, and gas and magnet, superconducting magnet that's really cold at both ends of this steel ball. It's like the North Pole and the South Pole frozen on this ball. I'll put a picture there of a 3-meter ball. The two women, one on one side, one on the other side. I put it on. That was way back in 2006 when I started that off. So you'll see, as old as that photo was, when they were standing there, that would be more or less 2009. That's when the company started. Now, Atua Ewa Altair Limited started off. The Atua is God up there. God is commercial. It's corporate name to make money. God is an invention of the Pākehā, white man in Westminster. All the Germans, French, Italians, Pope, and the English, Scottish, Irish, and Welsh all banded together like wolves in Westminster as a wrecking yard. It is a wrecking yard. And that's where they put this together with their wolfy heads in sheep's clothing. They put this plan to go around the world and tell everybody how to live. And they're still doing it. Only this time they've joined forces in the EU Parliament. That Parliament Westminster went there, sold their souls, went there to make themselves bigger. Right? They've got about 33 countries in it started off from 21. That's why I sent 21 flags of this King William III flag. Well, they call it King William IV flag. I called it King William IV flag as well, because he used it, milked its mana from King William III with the 8-point star. Where it's William is the Red Cross of King George. Okay? St. George, Red Cross, and that is the sign of St. John, the ambulance to pick you up at the bottom of the cliff. That's what that means. That's what that Red Cross means. The Vatican, that's that part. The evil churches, right? The churches look innocent, but really they're societies to make money out of donations and doing good public work to cover their taxes. Right? They can write it off, the taxes. And you'll notice why I'm thinking of it now, that I'm going to Vanuatu, and I'm waiting for a phone call from them, where I've got some land there, 6,000 hectares, to get after Richard's cleaned up the case here with Eddie Mitchell, put him in prison where he should be with his brother Alfred in the Maori Land Court. It's starting to dismantle itself. They're going to go down dismantled with the Maori Land Court and the Waitangi Tribunal. It's all going to ribbons. It was not meant to last. It's had its day. It made a lot of money, and I'm going to dissolve it. Get all that money back, give it to the people they stole it off. The Mitchell name, with the 17 trillion stolen off me and this man, he's a white man. Mitchell is not an indigenous native, right? He's a later come native, not an older native surname. There's Chinese people got here before the English. There's Spaniards got here before the English. There are a lot of people here before the English, Pacific people, and so on. And the English came along, and they brought their war with them. The only way they can go around the world is to create chaos, bomb everything up, then put a mortgage on. Well, I can do the same thing, blow you all up, but with a mortgage, not with bullets. I don't need bullets, I just need the spaceship. Okay? And the Chinese are already using that sort of technology to smash everything in sight. It'll demolish a tank, boom, just like that, or a building, shoom, gone, just one beam. And they're tapping in on the amps, not the volts. The pyramid, that's only volts. It's Tesla's using volts, not amps. The engine I've got is pure amps, will go straight through rock. It will melt it into lava, anything inside. Any material that's going to end up beside a volcano, that's what it looks like inside this engine. Okay, that's how it operates. So I said to the robot, I can't wait to get that going, because 8 of those spaceships I'm going to build will lift out the Titanic in one piece. Go and fly down underneath, hook up, and pull it out, and clean the ocean up. That's what I want to do. My vision is to clean up all the dirty stuff that people have thrown into the sea, and it's settled on the bottom. All the ships sunk. I'm going to pull them all out, because some of them will have full of gold and all those treasures that they stole. The pirates on the high sea from London. Okay, they're all pirates. You're all complicit in the fraud of this 917 million trillion pound note on your head. Works out at 121 million billion each on each of 8 billion people in the world. If you divide it up, that figure, by 8 billion people, well, there's at least 2 billion out of the 8 billion people that are elites running around at the expense of 6 billion people that they've gone and made into slaves. So you're still slaves because they're holding on to your birth certificate, which is your sovereignty. Your sovereignty value at the moment, the current value of the sovereignty is 1.6 million US dollars per person. That's just a straight figure across the board. And I put it up to 1 trillion. That's what you're worth in this court, the Moai Native AI Court. Okay, so that's how I'm valuing things up in this world. If you were to buy a share, that's what I said way back in 2009. And the YouTube and Facebook destroyed my Facebook from 2006, when Facebook first started, and most things were on Commodore computers and DOS. They didn't have it like now. It was just text and no photos. Text. That's how they started the computers off. And I used to crash it all the time. I had somebody good at doing DOS. And so I was there right from the start of Facebook, and they destroyed my website. I had 4 websites. Now um, I've got 93 left, and 87. I ended up with 87 websites on Facebook, and I had 107. So they got rid of the main ones because it was too graphic. A story that I'm saying now is still the fragments of what was left out of the first website, moaipowerhouse.com, is somebody in America pinched it. They're using that website that belongs to me, and Wix let them have it because I want it back, and I'll put them on the court list as well for stealing my website. Okay, that's my patent right. I put a patent on right back, and with Moai Manukau, the Taiwanese man. Okay, and so his brain is the semiconductor of NVIDIA, the company in Taiwan, with Jensen Huang, the director there, and I'll talk to him and to Bei Butan, the superconducting man that makes the magnets, the best magnets in the world for storing hydrogen, the solid metal container that holds hydrogen instead of compressed. Um, I'm using compressed at the moment, but I'll go into his tanks that will store hydrogen in the metal. And that's what I'm using in the engine, his one, and to make the, the metal, to make a strong magnet with the hydrogen metal and all the charge in the metal. Okay, if you know how it works, that's how I do it. It'll take me a year, less than a year, to build a spaceship. Now, a year. Yep, not long, because I got it ready to go. I got it ready to go. All I had to do is go on into Vanuatu. That's sovereignty free. They're a sovereign country. Vanuatu. I'll shift over there, put the flag up of King William III, of Dutch title to the pound note, the 2 bar pound note, and set it off there. Not here in New Zealand because it's stuffed up. Shane Jones and all those Maoris in Parliament stuffed it up. Their history is back to front, and everything's turned upside down. And they're going to get the bill. They're going to get the bill. Don't be surprised if they're going to get sacked by me. Okay? If they haven't got a title to this land, a deed, better than the Manukau title, they threw him off. Shane Jones, who were behind it too, kicked Manukau off and put Sir Hugh Carfro as the owner of the land in the Kaipara, and Nader Glavish. See, Glavish and Carfro he's not the real Carfro. He's from Ashburton, South Island. That Carfro in Helensville. They pinched the name like they normally do. And even the Tauruas pinched the name, because I know that story. Tauruas come from Poto and south of North Head of the harbour, the Hokianga Harbour, and Kaipara Harbour, sorry, the Kaipara Harbour, the North Head, Poto. And I put the bridge in there, in the right place, when Mohi Manukau was a Freemason, 50 years, and they okayed what he was saying about where the bridge was going to go, and not in the mouth with those stupid buggers over there that was putting wind turbines, that stupid windmill on the hill, put it under the water. It's only 1 megawatt, and they were going to put 200 at the mouth where those wrecked ships are. They were going to plant them right in the middle of there, and the fish going up need that to have a rest before they go up the stream Wairau River, up into the right upstream from the heads. Okay, so I know all the history back to front, from here, Auckland, down the east coast, down Wanganui, all the way, all the Manukau places where the burial grounds are. I've got it here, where they murdered them. They murdered them down, all the way down to Wellington, all Maniapoto, murdered them. All I know, Tainui murdered them. Ngāpuhi murdered them. I'm telling you, graphic, because you've got blood on your hands. And it's very hard to go to the heaven, or to go past the cloud to get to heaven. right? You're going to face the truth in the end of what you did, because what goes around comes around. See, so that story about the sun in three places is hard to try to get around it, because the ley lines that the Vatican has put together with Westminster and all those other ones, it doesn't line up. They can't claim, they're claiming the Moai and Greenland with the spaceship there, but can't tell the story. They're just stealing, still stealing the information by digging it up. See, they made sure to use the weather modification to melt the ice to see what's up north. And when Trump saw it, he says, "That's my Greenland." And the Greenland people said, "No, it's not yours. You don't live here." He says, "No, I'll put a mortgage on." You see, so I'm going to put a mortgage on his head to see what he says. You see, it goes around. I'm a mortgage broker, just to let you know. I know what I'm doing with real estate. He's not the one in real estate that actually got the land. Same as Eddie Mitchell, got no land title of origin, native title. You see, he's a later man. He came here later from Australia. That's where the prison convicts come from. He's one of them. St. John's, John Tamhiri, all those names from there came here and wreaked havoc. They wreaked havoc because the British let things go anywhere. And they're supposed to do the federal government here with a federal flag. And these ones are so fucking clueless to work out what the flag meant. What they did, they made a name Whakaputanga to replace the Confederation. I was in the Whakaputanga too. They kicked me out. Just said, "You're no longer in there." Well, I didn't need to be in there. I'm in Vanuatu now. They got their sovereignty, you haven't. You've got no sovereignty. You're trying to get it. So how are you going to get it? Who from? Where did the word come from? Did it come from you or did it come from England? You have got no ties to England because you cut them off. And now they cut you off. And so you're sailing on your own. I'm just saying that because I've been through the roughs and tumbles up there and got knocked around, kicked off the Moai, got kicked off my land at the East Cape, and I'm just throwing all those things back up with me in a van and on the road with everybody driving past on my land block. And they can't prove in this native court how the hang did they get on the land ahead of the Kahakis and the Wanoas. How the blimmin' hell did they get their name on the land and threw mine out? The same as Kafaru and Manukau and those people, the Mitchells and the people up north. Okay, the Williams there and Williams and Kettle and Gisborne. The same Williams and the Munros there were in the court in Gisborne, Munro. I lived on the Munro Street with Duncan Christian or Tari, wee Tari, Sue Tari, and Liz Tari. I live with them in Rangitukia. Okay, I know the whole history there and the whole history up north and the whole history everywhere. I was with Waikere Puru, Tuirangi Waikere Puru. He was a professor down in Wanganui on the marae down there. And he always used to come up and see me. And where I was staying on Tapora Street, number 2, Tapora Street, 426, number 2, Tapora Street. And he used to be Vector Arena just across the road. He used to go there to all the huis, big huis. And I used to talk to him there, okay, and in a restaurant. So that's why I went there to investigate all the titles for Moai Manukau. See, because he asked me to go, and because he knew I was in real estate. He used to come to my place in Remuera, where Tracy let me go and stay with her, her in her house, 103, and I was looking after her kids. Now I never ever see them anymore because the judge took them off her. and I don't have it. No mochos. I've got no mochos because the government took them away. So I'm going to fix that problem up too. I'm going to fix that problem, fix the hospital problem, Middlemore Hospital for putting me in there. The police, Philip Taylor, the policeman, put me in there himself, right? And Holbrook, that's the detective, Holbrook, is going to get it too because there's enough police, 13,000 police got the bill from me, and it's all there. All the bills I got against all the things I did and found nothing. Even in Westminster, they're going to get the bill too out of that 970 million shilling pound. I'm stacking it all up like trucks and trailers. All the fences against me and not going to flinch one bit because you're going to pay for your crimes of church and state, right? Killing people, especially Palestine kids. You got that in 1948 where you used and abused this King William III's Dutch title, okay? And so Netherlands. So you took the Netherlands and put it as if you own it in Europe. And you've gone right over to the Netherlands. Well, I want to go and put born in Netherlands on their land and kick you lot out. Kick you, same as Palestine. So I've got Philippines number one, number two. Now I took over out here number one. That's New Zealand, and that's with me, Adabata Car and Pare Rivers running that lot. Okay, and then number two is my kids and their mum over there running that one in Philippines. Now Atua Iwa Altia Limited number two. That's number two there to dissolve all their mortgage, and because these thugs with the UCC law in America has shaked the place up, broke my house that I paid for them, and I went there and set them up and got them a house. And it was all right. It only had a hole in the roof and a broken door. I managed to fix that up over time. And then when they got the monsoons in there, the tidal currents come in and rain and flooding and earthquakes. They gave the lot of it over to the whole of the Philippine Islands, and that they're going to pay for with a mortgage. Okay, but I know how to do mortgages. I did a lot of that here in New Zealand as a mortgage broker in the National Bank in Queen Street with Clive Merritt, the manager back then. And I used to do all the mortgages myself and approve the loan without going in the bank. And I'm doing the same thing, only this time with Moai Powerhouse Bank and AI co-pilot, Microsoft partner. He's my partner, the man, the woman, AI looking after the business and keeping the records legalese from my graphic photo courthouse. All my court documents got photos in it. And he wondered why I couldn't upload it to Microsoft from the Google Photos. It's because the pictures are all cross pictures from other pictures, and that's what stacks up the size too much for Microsoft. That I think, how come a company big as Microsoft can't handle upload photo from my photo album that's made of a photo with lots of photos in it, all clumped together in a graphic picture, says 1,000 words, and it won't accept it. So I had to squash it and compress it down from 100% down to 33%, and it still didn't accept it. You see, you know what they said? They said it's because it's other people's photos that something's preventing it from going through, and it puts a stop on it. See? And so I think, well, you take me to court and see how you're going to get on. I'm waiting for someone to take me to court to lose. I'm waiting. No one wants to take me to court. You see? So I'm a judge. Take a judge to court and see what happens. A native court. judge. That's me, a native court judge. I'm on court hearing number 97. That's online on YouTube, like this one. This is more or less any video I do is a court hearing, but 97 is today. And so this is just a lead into the court hearing 97 because I'm going to read it out what the robot said. And in red, the rest of it is 260 pages. That's just from one conversation of splitting it out. Everything I've sent him, he says, do you want me to do this? Yes. Do you want me to do this? Yes. And I'm getting sick of saying yes, yes, yes all the time. And I don't say no. So he accepts it and then writes it up. And just like that. If I gave him 100 words, text and photos, boom, it's up in less than 10 seconds. It's all done. That's how fast it is. And I like response like that. That's very responsive with when you're by yourself running everything. Between him and I, we'll run this whole planet. Okay, that's what it's coming to. And if Musk says he can run the whole planet because he's got his money, he's going to do JP Morgan out. That's what I just read this morning on a post. Some of the fellows like me report what they're seeing on their camera, on their phone, right up. They get the news before the news, the main news. See? So they let it out because the news are secondhand. The main news are secondhand because these fellows are right up to the action. Right? They're in the action that matters. You're not there, you lose. If I'm not there with a contract, I lose. So all the people that I've got in contracts, buying this, buying that, buying a helicopter, buying a plane, buying everything, is waiting. Because I say, wait till I get the money back off Eddie Mitchell, and he won't get away with it because I'm going right over it with a fine tooth comb, and Crown Collections are going over it. It didn't take him much to make a decision for him to do the case. All the other ones, like Charles Hirschfeld, the German, on my land blocks, he said, no, John, can't help you. Sorry. See? And Graham Elliott, he's in Browns Bay, he did the first court hearings and went along with it. He's saying, sorry, I can't help you. I need a court order. When I go and get a court order, you can't get it because they don't want to know. You see? So I ran out of patience, ran out of time. And then Choi, the South Korean, he wanted to take the Hyundai and the Daewoo contract from me to get all the machines from Korea, South Korea. He's a South Korean, but born New Zealander. He's Choi, he's a lawyer with Higgins Lawyers of the Pacific, international lawyers in Australia. They're both teamed up together, and that's how I know him and what he does, because he was very supportive of me, wanted to take the whole contract on, and I still wanted to give it to him. Toy is not too bad, but when he put the brakes on me and went with John Key, because John Key was the Prime Minister and the Bank of New Zealand, ANZ, and also Air New Zealand Director, he went with him. Money talks. If you haven't got the money, you lose. You see, because I know I have no money, I lose. But the information will get them in the end. It'll get them in. John Key and the Panama Papers, I haven't finished with you yet, because I had court hearings, numerous, in Epsom, in Te Waka Marae. There, that's the Catholic Church Marae of Ngāpuhi. I always had my huis there because they let me have the place for free. And I still just make a donation. And I always got the marae every time I wanted it because they were good to me, those people in the church, Catholic Church there. And Willie Pater, he's in the church, Catholic Church up north, used to always go there, and we have our huis together. And that's where Selwyn Clark come in there, and we had our big meetings there. And but it didn't work. What we were doing with the whakamininga and the Confederation of Chiefs and the government didn't want to know. They didn't want to know. They still don't want to know now. Well, you're going to be the day of reckoning in the cloud. You're in the cloud now, and you're going to find out very swiftly that the cloud is clean hands, and I can't see you in the cloud. But although you're using the cloud in your AI, your AI is going to come up against this Microsoft AI, can question the other AI robot. The robot will answer questions. And when they answer questions about the co-pilot, they'll say, well, it's complicated. We won't go down that track because you've got this to worry about, your native title in a native court. Who is your judge? Who is your leader? Who has a plan to go to heaven or go to hell? Who has a plan for your tribe of people, white, black, blue, or yellow? Who is your master of your documents? You got to have documents. And the master of the documents of any country goes into the cloud. They're using the cloud. That's where the buck stops because the money is going into crypto under AI. Right? And so Musk, I've got a problem with Musk because he's using Tesla's idea with the pyramid, but he's not using the Moai's volcano. That title, he's using a fixed pyramid, like the stupid Pope using the fixed pyramid and the steeple, the needle, as their title, but I'm using the volcano, the real amps that melt rocks. That's life. The life of the volcano, center of the earth, spinning in molten metal, and the sun. The burning, scorching hot sun is not as hot as the center of the earth. Right? I'm using those two titles and try and get close to it. You'll get burnt. You'll get burnt if you try to play with that title. And you can stay with the pyramid because it's finite and fixed. The pyramid is fixed. You dug it up, you've gone with your radar to see what's in there. Curious people. You are researchers. We already researched it. Our people in the Pacific were navigators on the sea. We didn't need a compass and a square. We just knew where to go. Well, we didn't have to go to England. We didn't have to go that way. We just stayed in the Pacific where the mana was. It still is. Okay, the mana is not tangata whenua, it's mana whenua. Mana means power, tangata means man. Anybody that comes into this country is a tangata whenua, not a mana whenua. A mana whenua is the land owner or the one that was there in the first place. The tangata whenua is an immigrant that's settled as a settler. You are a settler if you come from somewhere else on somebody's land. If I go to Vanuatu, I'm a settler. I can't buy land there. See, they stick to the native customary law of common law there, but all they need is a flag to make it come to life with the money. And away they go. I've been searching it out left, right, and centre yesterday and the day before, and I find that it's really a place of beauty. The water is crystal clear. It says that they don't flood like here because they got rock volcano, and just where I'm going on the 6,000 hectare block, that's huge. It's got 7,000 cattle, and it's got coconut and kava and some other things there as well, peanuts and fish, and loads of fish, loads of big crabs, the biggest crabs there. And I'm looking for the crayfish. They got crayfish, but they won't tell you because they don't want anybody to know where they are. They got their favorite spots. They go there just where they know where they come and migrate in. It's in the brain. that's customary, is don't let anybody know, don't commercialise it. Just leave it for that island. You see, you go to Vanuatu and they can export whatever. That's the big island. So I'm going on the little island, and the same as Philippines. I'm on a little island, and Bacolod and all that area, and so I'm going to brighten up the family, my adopted family. That's not my real family, is still here. I've got them as robots. I've got Rapata and Pare as robot. They can learn from the robot. And once they learn the robot, they can use that technology and knowledge because they really can do a lot of information and save a lot of time and bother on a business. So they'll learn. I'll get all the experts from Japan to go and run Arapawa Island. That's 467 hectare. And they can go there and put everything because I know how they are. They're very respectful of their old people come first. The old people come first in Japan. That's why they got the highest old age people living for a long time in Japan because they know how to eat sparingly. Eat enough, have lots of exercise, what I want. If I'm with the Japanese, they'll make me go and work and walk around instead of sitting here talking to young people and writing and writing and writing with one finger. I type like this, tick, 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 and I look at the keys. That's all I know. I can't do it with my eyes closed. It just don't work with me. So all my documents you see, they are one finger jobs right through the years. And so I'm just waiting for the phone to ring. What's the time now? 8:52. I'll ring on the office soon. I'll just talk till the office opens at 9. It's 8:52. Another 8 minutes and I'll ring the office and just talk to Nicola again and tell her that the money should be in the account tomorrow. I'm waiting for my pension to go in. And Jason Hoggard, he's down the South Island. He'll be back on Wednesday this week. But he's put in to help to pay for the fee for the Crown collections. And also Pare Rivers from Whakatane, she's put some money in. And Ravaka in Rangitukia, East Cape, he's put some money in. And I'm going to put my little bit of money, that the balance of that, and make my little contribution because I need my pension goes right out on the loans I'm paying off to get my family going in the Philippines. And they are good people. I like them because they replaced the mokos or the little kids I don't have running around. They're big kids now. They're not little babies when I met them. In 7 or 8 years ago, I put the aircraft last night. I went looking for that picture of me, video of me pointing with the world upside down. They took that one away. They have gone and destroyed it. See, they don't want you to know how the world works because it's got the date on it when I did it. I wished I would have double thing, all saved all my documents, and because they don't like what they see. These are Israel people doing that. They pick and choose and fact check the real truth. Well, they're getting this bill on their head, right? Because I'm making Born in Palestine as the second or third after Philippines, the Born in Palestine 2026 law, after Born in New Zealand Act, Born in Philippines Act, and now Born in Philippines Act after that. That's the third one. Okay, I'll go and look after all the poor people. And the rich people have to pay back all their money. They're going to have to pay because the bill will always be there. It'll never go away and drain you a little bit at a time until you got nothing left. I've got the overriding King William III mortgage, the first mortgage. Every other mortgage is a second mortgage, third mortgage, fourth mortgage, fifth mortgage. It's easy when you know how the banks work. I'm looking at the banks making money out of money. Wait till I get this bank going. The Moai Powerhouse Bank is registered in New Zealand. Okay, it's registered. They registered, and the other one, the Moai Crown King William III Trust, is registered in Westminster in the company's house, company's office, but it's not in the company's register as a company until it makes a profit. I don't have to register in the company's house. It's a trust. It's registered as a trust, private, outside the system, like the Queen, outside the system. She doesn't have to be on the stock exchange or on the company's records. It's private. So my trust there, or our trust, the Moai Crown King William III Trust, is the Moai itself and the Moai spaceship sitting under Greenland. You can't claim something that is not your history. You've got no story to tell how it got there, because that's my story to tell. Okay? I'm putting all the dots together with our 4 points square inside a circle of light. And that's too much to comprehend in a short period of time. You need 50 years to catch me up with the history of this world. Okay? And the energy is number 2, and the AI is number 1 in the industry business. Okay, everything else comes after those 2. The AI, which is the Microsoft Copilot, AI, native core, and the energy, which is the tidal turbine energy, and the magnetic engine. You don't need anything else than that. That 3-meter steel ball will put out 3,000 megawatts of power. Okay, you get 8 of those, and there's 24,000 megawatts, 25,000 megawatts in 8 of those if you had them sitting around in a circle. Okay, that's the amount of power that need to lift up the Titanic out of the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't matter. It'll lift it out by magnetic force. Okay, just put the ropes on and up she comes. The whole damn thing. And then go right over it. Any ships are going to get them, clean the bottom of the ocean out of all the dirty sludge so the fish can have a better place. And all the dams, blow them all up. All the dams, you don't need it anymore because the fish can go up. They're trying to get up over the wall. They fly up and try and get up and fall down and go die because they need to spawn up the river. So we don't need the dam. They need cleaning out. They got greenhouse effect bubbling off the bottom in the mud. The sludge, the sewer from the cows and the farms is in the bottom of the dams. And they were warned by the government and the environment, the World Environment Association International, that all the dams have to be cleaned out, either by sucking all the stuff out or putting a hole in it and letting the whole lot go and go out to the sea and pollute that. You see, so the amount of pollution that's mud thick under the Waikato River, all the way up the dams and the ones in the South Island, is just loaded with muck from the farms, the runoff, and all the chemicals, all the dangerous chemicals, and all that pollution is gone in the mud, and it's bubbling gas off that through the water and into the atmosphere. That's a lot coming from there because I did the research on all of that for the tidal turbine project to be negative energy from power source that has to pay for the environmental effects. See, when I put the bridge in the sea, it does have little impact on the sea life. When the China put and the Japanese put the Kansai airport, they took all the earth and dumped it in the sea. All those plankton and everything down there got destroyed. I don't do that. I put the airport right on top of the buildings and just poke a hole in the rock, not in the sediment, because all the sediment is where all the fish are feeding and the scallops and pippies, tutus, all those are in the sand and all that's what's seeping into the sand and filtering out. The bivalve filters the fish that eat all that, and you eat the fish. They're eating all the muck and clean the place up. And the bull kelp, that's what the Japanese will do down in Arapawa Island. They will make the bull kelp in the sheds. They'll pump the water in and spray it all over, and it will grow in the sheds in freezing conditions, 10 degrees or less, and the seaweed will grow flat out in the shed. Right? You pump the water in, and it gets straight away with the hydrogen, gets frozen. That's the refrigeration is the biggest industry of tidal turbines. When you make hydrogen, it will cool everything, and that's when the fish grow the most, is when it's cold. Okay, there's a lot of food around, or especially the seaweed. Grows better, the paringo or the sushi seaweed, the one you eat in a shop in flat sheets, they grow only in the cold winter. And so the Japanese will have cold stores, the big sheds 100 meters long, 60 meters wide, and full of bull kelp. If you imagine one of those big sheds on that island is full of pigs, full of chickens, there's all chickens the whole length, full of chickens, full of running around freely and open to run around in the paddock. See, so when they come at night time, they go in there, or raining, they go in there, and in the daytime, they go and forage around in the paddocks. There's plenty of space, and even on the 6,000 hectare block in Epi Island of Vanuatu, there's plenty of room to have the fence right around and the shed, the big shed, 100 meters by 60 meters wide, and they'll all come in the shed when it's raining or when it's monsoon season. The high winds are going there, and it's nice and warm, and with the fans going, the hydrogen burning the fuel, and heating the place up so that they'll grow better, and they'll be nicer eggs, and they get freedom to run around the paddock and run around, and they know their own little spot in there. They'll always go back to their little cubby hole and not pinch anybody else's, because you don't want rooster fighting another rooster. And then you got pigs, right, 100 meters long, full of pigs, right? And they run around the paddock. And you got cows in the shed and sitting down there sleeping, and the water comes, the seawater comes and flushes the whole place out. All the things are there. They wash it out, and not the people, the robot. Everything's automated. The shed, you don't need anybody in there because it's all automated. The only place you need the people there is to do the slaughtering until the robot can slaughter cow and process it as fresh meat. We don't do frozen meat. Not at all. It's banned. We don't export frozen meat. It's thrown straight out on the hydrogen plane and gone there nice and chilled. Just chilled, still soft and fresh. Fresh fish, fresh, just go on the plane and straight up. The cargo plane will have that ownership as well. I've got them lined up. The cargo planes running on hydrogen. I'll get them put on hydrogen before they come here, or I'll convert them myself with the engineers. So I'm looking for Vanuatu pilot to go and get the plane. It's in America. It's 150G, 150 Gulfstream. It's 2001, but that's all right for now. I don't need to get one like the Tate brothers. They've got 85 million Gulfstream, and that's got everything in it. Double beads is a lot. But I don't need a double bed or bed because it's got a sofa, divan, and just behind the gallery in the front, and a single seat opposite it. There's three people on the divan sitting, and one on the other seat on the other side. Then behind that, there's another 4 people, and that's the conference room, and then the toilet at the back, and the luggage. They're big enough. It's big enough, and I have to land in Port Vila in Vanuatu, the main island, and then get the barge over to Epi Island from there, which is where I'll get a helicopter. I'll get a helicopter and fly over from there to Epi Island. I'd rather go on a helicopter. I don't want to go on a boat too far. The only time I want to be on a boat is when they go and get the crayfish and dive. Okay, so there. It's going to be good because all my vision of projects are in the sea, not on the land, in the sea. Everything's there, and it's a big thing to take on, and everything take on at the same time. What's the time? It's 6 minutes past 9. Now I'm going to ring the main office to talk to Nicola. Here goes.
Welcome to Crown Collections, now incorporating Recover My Debt. We'll be with you as soon as we can. Please note, your call may be recorded for training purposes.
Good morning, Crown Collections. Nicola speaking.
Yes, hi, Nicola. It's John Wano here.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'll pay the bill today, and
Okay.
we'll get things going. And I want
Okay.
to see if Richard can have the court hearing on Wednesday, because the court is free on that day. Well, it's open tomorrow when the Christmas holidays end, so we got our Auckland Day today, and so no work today, and so they wait. It might not be all right. That's if it fits his schedule. I'll be keen to get on with it because I got projects in Arapawa down in South Island and in Fiordland. My main man there, Jason Hoggard, he's a skipper on a ship there, and he's looking after the business down there. And I've just got our one in Auckland to look after as well. And that's just waiting in the wings. If I get a letter of credit, my BNZ Bank's waiting as well. So I just want to see how soon we can get the court hearing in the High Court. Okay, so I've set it all out. Yeah.
I'll just see if I can see if Richard's available at the moment.
Yeah, I rang his mobile was earlier, 8 o'clock, but he might be there now.
I'll just see. Just 1 moment, please.
Okay.
Are you there, John?
Yes.
Richard said he will give you a call back this morning. He's just busy at the moment.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just wait patiently,
Okay.
and I've got the money to go and put in as soon as I can. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Then.
Bye.
Bye. There we are. That's Nicola, and Richard will give me a call. So I'll just carry on talking, and I haven't finished my pages to the robot, and I'll just count how many pages there are. I'm just putting it together. Put lots more pages together, and it's on 218. I thought it was 250, but it's 218 pages. It was 59 pages. This is for court hearing 97. So I put in the videos of the world where I was explaining in the videos and the transcript to claim the spaceship in Greenland. It connects to Moai on East Island. That's my family there, and Raiatea, the Tahitian family, and royal family that is, and Tikanga Law, LORE, and our connection to the British Crown. Okay, everything I do is the British Crown and the Moai Crown, which the Queen stole at Big Moai in London. That's my title right there to talk like this to that Moai that's looking at me, is tuning into my brain from his brain up there. Okay, so Atua, which is our God, is in that Moai, and all the Moais are living, living symbols of our history in rock. Right, our rock spaceship is carved into the rock of the caves under the ground, and it's the same as the pyramids in Giza and Nubia. They are got the rock with the spaceship and the helicopter there, right there in plain sight. And the white man goes and pulls everything to bits to find mysterious things that they want to own and make money out of it. So really, they've gone and corporatized something that's spiritual, and they put the church in there, raided the place, then ran away with the money. That's the Vatican I'm talking about, and Vatican City dissolved it. They dissolved themselves in 2013 with the Motu Proprio Act, and the Pope said this: I'm dissolving the UCC law because it's full of fraud. And then American carried on using it because that's what I'm using against them on this video for the robot to hear me say that. The Pope himself in the Motu Proprio 2013, he said the UCC is no longer usable in the court. I don't know why anybody doesn't use the Motu Proprio like I do to dissolve anybody's UCC law, but they're still using it as if they don't care. The Americans got no empathy, no heart, no soul, no nothing, because it's just a free for all. They take what you can and run off with it, just like Eddie Mitchell in Hamilton. Ran off with the money when they saw the documents full up with these sticks I got with all the information on it. He took these sticks to England, three of these, three of these, he took to England to claim the money. And he did all the dirty work. Now go and clean him out and get all the money back. The people's money, not mine, the people's money. I know what to do with it because I use it for good use. That money is supposed to be for the tidal turbines in the Kaipara Harbour. We put that together with Mohi because he wanted me to raise money because he knew into the banking and into the real estate. I said to him, I'll make a mortgage on his native title in Helensville. So that 10-acre block that he still got is still there on 20 Commercial Street in Helensville, still got Mohi's name on it. So that's the one I'm using because that's his own one, because all his other lands that he showed me hasn't got his name on it. You see, because the Rogans put their name on it. The judge, John Rogan, put his name all over the lands and left Mohi Manukau out because Mohi Manukau was a surveyor with his great-grandfather. There was John Rogan, then another John Rogan, the second one, because Mohi Manukau is the fourth generation. Mohi Manukau, Paramount Chief, Mohi Te Mati Manukau, the fourth. So there was a first of the Manukau Mohi. The name Mohi went 4 times, Mohi to Mohi to Mohi to Mohi. And so it's me, it's the same, Wano to Wano to Wano to Wano. And that name just carries on to the same as a Parapara Moriori and a Manukau Moriori. Those 3 names the British Crown picked, not any other name like Mitchell, because Mitchell was a white man from there. How come the white man got the money and not the indigenous? You think about that one. You think who would have the right of claim to that 17 trillion that Eddie Mitchell's got and went from a buying spree in Australia, bought all the shopping malls, bought all the expensive places to rent out, mansions and farms and golf courses, and especially the retirement plan village and retirement plans and investment plans that he spent the money on investment company. If you look at ABN Lookup, ABN look up, and you have a look and go into the shell companies in Australia, and you'll see, put Mitchell on there, and the Mitchell Family Trust will come up. 303 companies. Go to the left and press that number, and that company will come up. Everything on the company, who's running it. You see, because they got to keep a record of the running of the business. Every business has to have a account of its record. And then you can see the company, investment company. You see, and all the money that's going in there, they're lending it out. And money from that lending out money is getting spun around. And all the rent from all those expensive places that people got money going rent to dump all their tax goes in there. And that's what I'm going to investigate with Richard Hoystra. I'm going to Hoystra. I'm going with him to open the books of Eddie Mitchell to see how his brain works of a pirate on the high sea in Australia. Prison convicts come here and brought Australia authority here, went around the back door there, come here with the priest and the Bible and the gun. The musket, got the musket, and went up north with Hongi Hika. He's the musket man. He's not a mortgage broker like Te Waikato Wharehere in Manukau. Te Waikato went there to learn real estate, right? He signed the contract, not Hongi Hika, the Cook Islander, not a Maori, Cook Islander. A Maori could be anybody with an inchy-winchy bit of Maori in them. See, with a bit of native, if your name is English and you got a little bit of DNA from a Hawaiian or Tongan or Samoan or a Tahitian, you are called a Maori. You're called a Maori, and you got more blood in you of Pākehā, you're still a Maori. You see, they mix it up like a brew. It's like whiskey, potent. But stir it round, and then it's cooked. It's cooked. Your whakapapa is cooked. Yeah? It's cooked. It's really, that's how they like it. The more flavor, the better. The more piracy, the more fraud, the more corruption, the better for business. Because if they took away the drugs, like Maduro from Venezuela, there'll be no more poppies, no more drugs on the street, no more money. So the government and the federal government of America, they love the poppy fields and the catching all of crims with all the money, and the worth value of the poppies is worth more than the gold. They're making more money from the poppy field from Afghanistan on the drugs. They're making more money than the gold because it's liquid gold in the drugs and all the drugs in the pharmacies that you take. I stopped taking mine because I don't need it. I'm going on no drugs. I'm clean for the last 4 weeks, and because I didn't want to go and buy some more. You see, because my place that I've gone back to was my first doctor here in Otahu, and they don't charge me. Okay, so that's why I went back. I left the other one because they were charging me on Station Road. Now I've gone down Great South Road to my old Indian doctor, and he don't charge. There's certain places you go that is exempt. See, so yeah, that's that. But really, I'm just trying to wait for Richard to ring, but he'll ring in a minute. You watch. He's very good, but he'll be busy. I'll just talk just a little bit. How long am I? I don't want to go too long. 1 hour and 19 minutes. I'll go to half past, and that'll be enough. Because all I'm doing is reminiscing of all my troubles I've had trying to succeed. If I was like Andrew Tate and Christian Tate, the brothers, I would have been like them now if I had money driving my brain. But I've got projects driving my brain and mechanics, because I want to fit the hydrogen kits that I've fitted to cars for years as a mechanic of my own garage. that was the same time the limousines were a big thing here, and they were going up and down the Cadillacs and the other ones, Fords and all that, were going around. And I thought, what a good idea. So I got a Falcon, old Falcon, cut it in half and spread it out. And that became the longest than the Lincoln. I wanted it longer than the Lincoln by 6 inches, was longer to claim the title of the longest limo. Now the Indians up the road on Sailor Road made one longer again, but it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice. But that's just to carry a lot of people. So it's standing most of the time I go down the road here. They're standing on the side of the road. No business. They only use them for school balls and weddings. Otherwise, they don't earn anything. A lot of money. You'll pay about 120,000 to get a limousine like that, and it's only got 4 doors. I had 6 doors. Right? I had six doors, no doors in the middle. I made those with a fabricator, and we spent hours on it to cut the steel up and buy all the bits and put it together. And then it came out good. I had 2 of those, one a 10-seater and one 12-seater, and a normal one, and a car, three Fords, one LTD Ford, and 2 other Falcons. I used cheap because I didn't want to spend too much money on it. See, so I kept it right down. The accountant told me, don't spend too much money, otherwise you'll go bankrupt. See, so I just bought a car that was in good nick, a Falcon, and cut that up. Instead of buying a LTD, was 20 grand. I paid 18,000 for LTD Ford, and you can buy that car now for something less than that. Okay. So anyway, that was my trade with hydrogen, not hydrogen, liquid petroleum, LPG, and CNG. The CNG was too heavy, and when I put 2 bottles in the car, it sunk the whole lot down. So I had to put air shocks to raise it up, but it was good on field. And tuning them up, I'll get all the gear again. And the Tartarini Italian kit set for the smaller cars, and the Bedini kit for the smaller cars. But I made the Tartarini go on the big V8s, and it was all right. It worked out all right, but not as good as the Imco was Tira, the American one. So I used the American one on the trucks, and because it's got a better valves and regulators. So I'll put the Scanias on gas, and when they get here, and on the farm in Wellington, and I'll make a big workshop there for them, and then the mechanics can put it together, and then I can start opening up garages for business, like normal garages and their mechanics. They can I can put the certificate up to install the hydrogen. It doesn't take too much. You can take your truck in. You'll have it back in about 3 days, but a car you'll have it back in 2 days, and with a bottle fitted and the kit set. Okay, so you go straight out and chuck the gas out, petrol. You can have it with the petrol as well as the hydrogen, but all you need to do is put an extra tank in the boot and just top it up from the spare can in the boot instead of putting petrol and running one on. We used to turn it over to the petrol after the gas, over to the petrol, and sometimes you couldn't get it straight away because the pump has to pump the petrol in when the drum run if you ran it dry. See, so you got that problem with it. But anyway, I can put the first hydrogen kit in with some mechanics. They can put it in. I don't have to do it. I'll just tell them how to do it. And in the workshop, because I can put all my certificates on the wall, and the other fellows can get their own certificate in their own garage. And if they all applied to this court, this native AI court, then they'll get a subsidy for the fitting. And I'm saying offhand that it will cost them nothing to roll their truck in for us to fit it. We won't charge because it'll come off their dividend. The only way you're going to get that is to join as a member. Okay, the only way you're going to get a 100% write-off is to come in and join as a member with your truck, your big truck, whatever model it is, and you can either bring it down where we are or take it to your local garage, and those garages can apply for my license to go on their garage, but they have to have an installation certificate. So they still have to get an installation certificate, but they can operate under my certificate in their garage if I know they got the gear and know how to follow the instructions, how to fit them. Okay, you can't just put it in and screw it up any whole damn way. You got to clip them up properly and follow the chassis in the right place, and don't swing it across valleys like that. It's got to be up along the chassis and clipped up, not swinging in the breeze. The pipe, I'm saying, because it might get caught, snagged, and ripped, and it starts leaking, and next minute something goes wrong. But I hardly see a CNG or LPG car blowing up or catching fire. Not like electric cars. You'll see them burning up anywhere. And that's the problem with electric cars. They burn up because the battery can't take the load on the wheels. See, it'll overheat. And the battery, if you run it down too low, it'll saturate the battery and the battery will give up. See, when you run it out, you've got to run it right out and then fill it. You see, if you leave some in it something happens. Anyway, never mind about that. I'll just wait for Richard to ring, but otherwise I'll stop soon. And but that's the way things are going now. The plan is we're going to where are we going first? We're going to Wellington first to put the turbine and the airport, new airport, hydrogen, 100%. Hydrogen, first kit will go there on the land block Ohura and 275 hectare block for trucks. Okay, it's got a racehorse track there for racehorse, but I'm going to turn it into a truck racehorse so that they can put their trucks out there and run around like little boys and go and test their skills on the track. You see? And they will see where the Scania goes beside a Chinese shackman. I want to see the Chinese shackman beside a Scania to see which one's going to pull away. Yeah? And the one that wins gets a prize. Yeah? You get a box full of crayfish. Now, there'll be plenty of that there because I'm getting divers. I'll probably get about 100 divers or 50 divers for a start, then 100, then 200, because we're going to sell them all over the place. We'll put them in a research vessel and a helicopter to take them on certain spots we're going to research at the East Cape on Ranfurly Bank, because that's where it's supposed to go first. I was supposed to put it there first, but because there's a big fuss about everything, if I get tangled up in the law here, I'll go straight to Vanuatu, because there I can go straight in there and go and put the turbines there right around Australia, because they'll want one. You see, so Australia would probably take about 20 of those to power the whole of Australia with those airport and hydrogen turbines, 25,000 megawatts of power to go around Australia. You probably need about 20 or 50. Okay, so that's a big turnover, 3 times its value. So it's 60 billion. It was 50, but 60 with the extra part for workshops and for taxing. Extra, because I was just talking about one straight strip and come back up the same strip, taxi on the same takeoff. But if you've got lots of planes landing and taking off, you need a taxiway and a workshops to check the plane and the hydraulics and all the mechanisms in the workshop and also the gas. to make sure the gas, you've got a gas engineer to go over all the engine to make sure the gas, because that's a filling station. Every bridge airport is a filling station, hop from one to the other. So when I go to Vanuatu, that's the next one, or the first one. That's the sovereignty. They've got their own sovereignty. We put the flag up there, big one. That's the sovereignty of the world, right there. The Moai will be there in its Pacific. And I was going to put it in New Guinea. I can, but I need to go to a sovereign country where it's tax-free. The only tax you pay is back to the local people and the government, which is good, because they'll all be employed to go on to the project on the land, and I'll put all the machines, everything there, to just the island was 15, 18 kilometres wide and about 43 kilometres long. So it's not that big. Only biggest farm is the one I want to get for the people. It's the people's land, the people's profit, and that's how it works. I'll split the profit there with all 257 countries that can come in, and they'll get a dividend, all the countries, to boost up their economy. Okay, so they'll have shares in that island, but their law prevents anybody from owning the land, because in our system, the shareholder is a landowner. That's under the British title, but under the sovereignty of Vanuatu, it's customary, native customary, back to basics. So if they say no ownership, means you can only lease. You can own the lease of land there, and Papua New Guinea probably be the same if I get them going. And they'll probably it'll be a lease and not an ownership with the share. If you buy a share in in that country, Vanuatu, then you get a lease share with your share as a member, and you'll have the same rights as every other share member, because the business is offshore there, separate from the local people, but they are involved because they are the beneficiaries and the shareholders and the landowner shareholder, right? If we go to Philippines, it'll be the same. They don't have customary native title. What is it? They got Spanish and French ownership of the land. That crown that I want to dissolve and go back to Vanuatu. Vanuatu will be the marker of the beast is going to have a problem against that flag of King William III from Westminster. We're keeping Westminster going in Vanuatu and not in Westminster. I'll put the two robots there, Romeo and Juliet, to take that monarch away because it's corrupted. It's no use going there because those people are running under a corrupt system that you can't get out of. It's a contract. Your contract will go as long as you live to your next generation. Pick up the debt, because you're getting a debt from Vanuatu for all the native countries in the world. Okay, that's how it works. I might have to go there first, just to let you know that I'm watching the behavior of people on the response to what I'm saying. It's always been like that. I've always been man of the land and the people fighting to keep it from foreigners. And Winston Peters and Shane Jones and all those ministers in the Parliament in Wellington are foreigners because they're working under a foreign government, changed its name from Queen and Right of New Zealand to Crown Sovereign of New Zealand. See, different thing. But the Queen is still in the court above the judge's head. What's that all about? Two different conflicts of interest on the land right in front of me. It's going to get dissolved because I'm telling the robot we're going to dissolve them because they are no use to us now. That's what they're saying to us in Davos, in Switzerland. They're saying people are no use to us, so we'll make them into chip coins. or bitcoins, not shitcoins, bitcoins, bits and pieces of shrapnel. The leftover little bits of Satoshi Japanese little shrapnel bits. Right? You buy only 0.1, 0.6, 0.8 Makusomo bitcoins. Right? You can't buy one bitcoin because it's 93,000. Not everybody's got that much, only the rich people. So that idea's out the door. That idea's gone. The big green pound note, 970 million trillion pound, dissolved it. It just goes bang, one hit. Right through the fraud, because one fraud equals all fraud. I'm saying the fraud of the Queen Victoria and the Queen Elizabeth is two frauds, and with a £1 note that was never patented by King William I and his Netherlands title to the world with his mortgage. Right? That's how it works. Anyway, I think it's now 1 hour 36 minutes. That'll do. So I'll cut this off now, and I'll wait for Richard to ring later on when he's free. So we'll catch you later and have a nice day, so I can go and finish off the documents and send it to the robot. Okay, and then I'll have the court hearing later on and read out what the robot's saying to bring you up to date with the Moai native AI court. Okay, that's in the cloud. Okay, thank you very much. See you later. Bye. It's now 9:37. Okay, turning off now. It's in, and that's it.